Chapter 1. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's ever made it out of the forest alive. My hands tremble as I breathe deep, summoning courage from the tight air around me. Fear still creeps up and shows its ugly head in the cursed forest, but I've learned to deal with it. You learn quickly when you're running for your life, like from a fire-breathing dragon. I peer at the thick mess of trees before me, gray eyes focusing with determination. My eyes are the only thing I really like about myself, because they contrast my aunt's dark ones. All I have to do is look her in the eye and she knows I'm not like her at all. A familiar shiver runs through me. No matter how many times I cross the invisible barrier of magic into the forest, I never know what to expect. Inside the forest, your fears come alive. Go. I break into the magic and run with eyes closed, relying on my instincts to remember the way. The trees seem to fly past me as I run deeper in. My long dark hair whips across my face. Oh, why didn't I tie it back? My hair always gets in the way when I run. I wish I could just cut it all off. But Aunt Elna won't let me. "You look like a castle page," she says. She never lets me do anything. I'm 14 years old, not a little girl anymore. Remembering my mission, I hold my bag tight in hand, careful not to crush its precious contents. I ran straight through the forest just this morning without incident. I can do it again. Nothing can stop me down now. Not a dragon or falling rock, not even a snake. I cringe at the thought. Snakes. As soon as the idea pops into my head, my heart beats fast in alarm. I shake as I sense something slither in the grass beneath me. Wanting to ignore it, my mind searches for anything else to think about. I can't let the fear in. Feeling something encircle my leg, my worry spikes to panic. I'm pulled down into the hard, unforgiving ground. A yellow striped, slithering serpent wraps over my kneecap and heads for my torso. The snake's thin, red tongue sticks out, taunting me, tickling the air between us. My neck stiffens as we stare at each other, unblinking. I search for something to use against the monster, frantically grabbing at the grassy ground. I feel something cold and hard. My fingers wrap around the rock. I aim it at the snake's head, but another serpent appears from behind me, twisting around my hand, squeezing the rock from my grasp. A long, scaly body tightens around my wrist. Feeling drains from my arm. My other hand still clenches my bag. I can't let go of it, no matter what. Sensing my own fear, I know what I need to do. "You're not real," I yell at the slithering serpents. "I'm not afraid of you." But the snakes don't listen. One slides around my neck, its smooth scales brush against my skin, sending a shiver up my back. This is it. Take control now or you won't be getting out. I shut my eyes and think of my mother's voice, hanging onto my only memory of her. She holds me, singing, and the thought makes me relax. I fall to the ground, no snakes in sight. Sitting in the midst of the dark trees, I search for any impending danger. All is quiet and serene again in the forest. I throw my head back and sigh, feeling relieved, and lean on my hand to stand. But as I try, a sharp pain shoots through my palm. Blood trickles down from the middle of my hand. Not a deep wound, but just enough to reach blood. The stone I picked up must have been sharper than I thought. Hopefully I can hide it from Aunt Elna. She always gets angry when I get hurt in the forest. But then again, she's always angry about something. I roll my eyes, imagining how she would fare against the snakes. The thought brings a smirk to my face. I look down at the rock that cut my hand. It's not a rock. A small drop of my blood drips on a gleaming edge of a small dagger sitting on the ground. I can't help myself and kneel down next to it, squinting in the finely carved wood and glistening metal blade. I pick it up, this time by the handle. A small string connects the knife to a thick leather sheath. I carefully slide the blade in. It must have belonged to someone, but now it's mine. I look for something to test it on and unsheath the sharp blade. Lifting up the dagger, I bring it down right in the middle of a large fern sitting peacefully beside me. The knife slices completely through the thick plant and even into the ground, surprisingly with very little effort. I lean over the fern to see the damage my new knife has caused, and I can't believe my eyes. Right in the middle of the plant is an ordinary gray rock, except for the fact that it's sliced down the middle. Nice. I stare at the knife in my hand. It has to be magic. I slowly return the knife to its sheath, not wanting to lose a finger. It fits perfectly in my pocket, as if it were meant for me. I jump to my feet. Enough playing around. Someone's waiting for me. The memory of my mother's voice, sings in my ears as I run deeper through the trees, keeping my focus on the edge of the forest. I'm close to the brink now, and I can smell the open air, fresh and magicless. I feel the warm sunlight. Yes, I'm finally in the sun. Grateful to escape the magic of the forest, I stop to take a breath. I'm safe now. Clutching the bag tight in my dirty hands, I open it, slightly revealing a ray of light. I peer inside and see a single white leaf. The aroma of pine and lavender ease my muscles, giving me more than just physical strength. I breathe in hope. It's not just any leaf, you see, but one I stole from a hidden magical garden. I'm carrying a wish. After a few deep breaths, I look up to see the sun in the sky. How long have I been gone? It must be afternoon by now. All I can see between the sky and the tops of the trees are 5 spiraling towers of the king's black castle. I imagine our king several miles away, looking down at the pitiful kingdom of Alcaz. The afternoon sun should be warming the dark stone, but the castle still looks cold and distant. I've never been near the king's castle and have no desire to enter the grounds. Anyone can see the king's indifference to his people just by passing a nearby town or surrounding farmland. The brown water that fills the shallow wells, the thieves that seem to always get away, and the children that beg for their meals, they all say one thing: the king doesn't care about us. What could he possibly do all day anyway? Noticing a bitter taste in my mouth, I try to spit the resentment on the ground. I shake my head, refusing to feel sorry for myself. I can't control the king, but there is something I do have control of. I head towards the town of Lindell in the opposite direction of the castle and hurry down the dusty road. Someone's waiting for me, someone who needs this wish more than I. The town is busy as always. No one notices me. They never do. I blend in so well, it's painful. Not pretty enough to turn a head, but not ugly enough either. Just ordinary to the eye, and yet, if they only knew my secret. Well, it's probably better they don't. Soon a dilapidated shack comes into view. Streets and shops surround this one-room humble home. It sits in the middle of a town swarming with people too busy to take notice of it, or even each other. Upon entering, I see 2 women huddled around a small boy on the bare floor. Red hair sticks to the boy's brow with burning sweat. He's too thin. Life drains from his face. I kneel down beside them, and a cold breeze seeps up through the cracks of the wooden planked floor. My eyes lock with my aunt's. I'm not like her, I remind myself. I'm not like her. Did you get it? She asks. Her coarse, dark hair is held in a tight bun on the back of her head. I lift my eyebrows, defensive at her question. Of course. Did she think I'd come back without it? The second I hold up the sack, she snatches it from me, dumping the contents in her bony, pale hand. One bright white leaf lay in illuminating perfection. We take a moment to stare. It's impossible not to. The symmetry of the single leaf is too perfect to be natural. The light it emanates is the most spectacular of all. The leaf shines bright in all directions, wider than anything I thought could ever be real. The boy moves from side to side, groaning. Elna holds up his frail hand, carefully placing the white leaf inside his weak grasp, and lays his arm down again by his side. She leans close to him and whispers to his ear. My eyes stay on the poor boy. Do you wish to get better, to heal? Elna asks the boy. He responds with a single nod. Your son will get better soon, my aunt reassures the red-haired mother, who looks as though she'd been up for days, with wild, unkempt hair and bags under her eyes. The mother turns to me. For the sake of my son, thank you, she says. I nod, hoping that's the end of our conversation. I'm Remy. I'll always remember you, she says. Then she notices my cut. What's wrong with your hand? Did that happen in the forest? Feeling my aunt's glare burn in me, I shake my head. It's nothing, I say, hiding my hand behind me. Oh, the mother keeps talking. I've never heard of anyone making it out of the forest alive. How did you do it? She leans in too close and I resist and attempt to scoot away from her. I know my aunt's gaze is on me, sending a don't say too much look. I steal wishes. Amira? I could recognize my aunt's strict tone anywhere. Her lips tighten and as she holds on to what she wants to say. The mother turns to her sleeping son, obviously sensing the tension between us. Aunt Elna shoots me a sharp look and whispers, He was close, a little too close, Amira. What took you so long? I did the best I could. It's not like I stopped for a drink at the well on my way back. I raised my palms up in defense. What happened to your hand? Did you make another mistake? Her crinkles on her forehead look deep. No, I'm fine. I stand to leave. Where are you off to? Elna asks. I need some air, I say without looking back. Once outside, I plop down on the dusty road, watching the busy town around me. Men push heavy carts, women sell eggs from baskets, and children beg for something to take away their hunger. I see a boy guide his goat somewhere the goat does not want to go, and a small girl holds a handful of flowers, begging for someone to buy one. I stand up and walk to the girl with the flowers. Reaching into my pocket of my pants, I pull out a small coin for her. She wraps her tiny fingers around the rusty metal and smiles with bright, dark eyes. I'm grateful for the little amount of money my aunt allows me every now and again, but it never stays in my pocket very long, not with all the begging children in the kingdom of Alcaz. You go get yourself some bread from the bakery, you hear? The little girl smiles, nodding too many times to keep track, and runs to the nearest shop. I watch her go, seeing myself in those fast little legs. I think her happiness will cheer me up, but I'm wrong. Nothing has changed. One girl won't be hungry tonight, but she will be again tomorrow. I haven't made a difference. Not really. Oh, Amira, not again! What's the matter with you? I have no desire to meet my aunt's gaze. There's always a reason for her to be mad at me. Which one is it this time? Is it that I gave a tiny bit of money away, or the fact that I hurt my hand, or the fact that I'm breathing? You're wearing pants again. Where's your skirt? I don't answer her. It's hard enough to have to face my fears in the forest, put a skirt on, and make it near impossible. Look at you, prancing around town in men's breeches again. Where did you put your skirt? You had it with you this morning. I know you did. I glare at her. If only looks could kill, she wouldn't have survived raising me. Oh, it's probably where I always leave it, by the forest. My aunt rolls her eyes and tucks a small pouch into her purse. My heart sends a cold chill through me, and I tighten my jaw and begin to grind my teeth. It's a nasty habit, I know, but I can't help it when I'm angry. This is not how I want to use the wishes. How much money did they give you this time? I ask. That's none of your concern. A familiar scowl instantly sweeps her face. Look at this place. The shack is practically falling apart. You think they can afford to pay you? Well, they just did. Elna's eyebrows shot up. Amira, stop wasting time. And you go fetch that skirt of yours before someone recognizes you. Relieved to get away from her, I turn on my heel. But I remember I left my bag in the shack. I turn back and creak open the crooked door as my aunt shrieks, No, wait, you can't go in there. But it's too late. I see what my aunt doesn't want me to, and my life has changed forever. We had a little fall there. That is the end of the first chapter. So that was the first chapter I just read to you. One part of the winter drawing is to read my first chapter or listen to it like this. Like I'm going to be going live for all 4 chapters, just like I am with this one. And then you can comment about it and enter to win $250. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Chapter 1. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's ever made it out of the forest alive. My hands tremble as I breathe deep, summoning courage from the tight air around me.